Yes, guys, welcome back to another show. We've got another panel show. A couple of the lads are joining in a few moments' time when they've got the systems loaded up and that. So I just thought we'd get started in it because I know everyone wants to get going. Smash these likes up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you are new. First game back of the season. City win 4-0. Clean sheet, which is mad, to be honest with you. Goals, some nice techie play as well. And, you know, I feel good factor around the squad. So big up to everybody in the building. Get these likes smashed up. Big up to Danny and Tarek. And we got Bevo loading up soon. We got Pulpy loading up as well. So, yeah, stay with us, boys. But, yeah, fucking hell, lads. I don't think anybody was as gassed as me. But was you gassed? Like, I was actually like, I was probably too gassed, to be honest. I was probably doing too much. But, yeah, how was you guys feeling during the game and that?
I mean, I was talking to you lads before we went on stream. I tripped over my tongue trying to describe that performance. I was lost for words. The first 30 minutes were a bit of a struggle, but after that, you could write a segment on each individual player. That's how good it was. And I can't remember the last time I said something like that. Usually it's one or two players stealing the show, but this time you had so many individual players just playing out their minds and adjusting to a new system. And I think we set up fantastically from a tactical point of view as well. I'll get on to that later, but I mean, to Johnny Reijnders, how good is this guy going to be for us? How good is this guy going to be for us? It's not just like late arrivals in the box as well. How good was he in the build-up? He had so many like very good dribbles, carrying the ball forward, and just being that connector between defense and attack that we missed so many times last season. It's just night and day between what we saw last season and what we're going to see this season.
It's just a quality player. That's it. It's so simple. Sure. Like, people try and do way too much, bro. Like, they do way too much. Like last year, yeah, the reason we were screwed is because we didn't have good players. That's just the facts. Yeah, injuries and some of the other players had not got good, yeah. I say Pep Guardiola interview, right, at the end of the season, they said to him, how are you going to be better next year? Give me better players. And guess what we did? We went and bought the midfielder of the year in Serie A. We went and bought Prem-proven Ait-Nouri. Went and bought Churki. Yeah, now we might be getting Reijnders and Donnarumma. Yeah. It's not fucking rocket science. We bought better players. We're getting better performances. That Reijnders, mate, yeah, is the most obvious banger signing we've ever made, ever. Yeah. When I was doing those scout-along missions, yeah, at the end of last season in AC Milan, shout out everybody in the building, yeah, more LB and that, yeah. Bro, I was just like, how is this guy not going to cook? This guy is going to be a top player, man. But I'm not going to sit here and like, be shameless and pretend like, oh, nobody else knew. Like, anybody that watched AC Milan last year knew that this guy was going to come in and just do business straight away.
Yeah.
That's what he's like. Look at this guy.
It was like you said, it was well known coming in that he was going to be amazing for us, and he was today. You know, last season, even when we had a decent performance, there were always negatives that you could point to. I think you said it, LB, even at the beginning of the season, we were winning games, but you could look at all the, you know, and like, well, we didn't do this well, we didn't do that well. I think tonight, you have to be like, like overly critical to try to find something wrong. I think at the end of the day, it's just a really good performance. Everything that went the way that we would hope it would go. We saw people getting opportunities to play. Man, I have no complaints at all. No complaints.
Well, that's the thing, you know, that's a great point, yeah. Shout out Bevel as well, be you in a sec, bro, yeah. But like last year, that's actually true. And I know a lot of people don't like speaking about negatives, because I'm not speaking about now, I'm speaking about last year, yeah, because obviously there's hardly any negatives from today, right? But I know a lot of people don't like it, but last year at the start of the season, yeah, when we were winning games, a lot of the games we were winning, we weren't good and we didn't deserve to win. In fact, we deserve to lose a lot of them. And then we get a lot of shit because like we speak about the negative points and people start crying. But like today, you watch the game today and like, bro, what were the negatives apart from maybe Doku? Like, bro, there was literally nothing. Like the system worked. Yeah, and I'm not taking defense as a negative. I ain't saying it, yeah, because that defense, that's a set-up tactic. So get used to it, by the way. Yeah, you might not like it, but get used to it. That's how we're set up. And to be honest with you, it was quite obvious that's how we're going to be like playing in that when we signed Ait-Nouri.
And a lot of the times where we were actually exposed, and I tweeted about this, in the first half, we'd make these stupid passes to players with their backs to a giant guy, and they're surprised they're giving the ball away. So it was pass selection, really, that led to a lot of turnovers. But I was very, very impressed. You know, we've always played a high line, but today, in the first half, we actually played like a proper offside trap. I'm not sure you've ever done that before. Like, did you see how many times? It was like Munetzi in particular.
Yeah, it was like 4.
He was offside like 4 or 5 times. Is he the sharpest tool in the shed? No, but an effective offside trap. We've talked about how slow some of our center backs are for months now. That's a very effective way to combat that. If you're slow to the point you can't catch up to someone, just keep them offside. It won't matter. You don't have to do any running. So it worked really well. Will teams find us out? Maybe, but for now, it seems very effective, and I was very impressed with it.
That line was so like the amount of times I watched the replay and like the defensive line was literally like that. Like it was so straight. There was one time, that was a complete mess and it was just L striking, But every other time it was bang on. Do you know what I mean? And like I've been someone that's been quite worried coming into this season with like the defense that we've got because of this high line that we're going to play. However, if they're in line like that every time and they know how to do it, and they're not going to get it right every time, they're just not, But if they can do that every time, bro, it's going to be decent, man. But so many positives to take. Bevo, I don't know what your next connection is saying. Like, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Oh, it seems like it's sorted, bro. What you saying, man?
So still that I thought he was frozen.
I know.
I'm just taking it all in. That was a bit of a shaky start. I think we came out and we didn't look that great, but we definitely grew into the game. A great performance all round. Reijnders, he is by far the signing of any team, Premier League, La Liga. He is the signing of the summer by far. Like I feel like we've done them dirty. 47 million. I feel like we need to give him another 47 million.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a good price on that one. But like I say, bro, it's like anybody that watched that AC Milan team last year would know that this guy was balling out, mate. And like, he's just such an obvious pet player. And he's what we exactly needed. Yeah, he runs the show. Yeah, I said this when people started saying, oh, he's a Gundogan 2.0. No, he's not. No, he's not. Because he carries the ball way more than Ilkay Gundogan. Yeah, Ilkay Gundogan's a passer. Yeah. Whereas Kovacic drives with the ball, and that's what Reijnders can do. And the first, you know what I like about this guy, about Reijnders? I said it in a watch along, mate. First 20 minutes, I actually thought the guy was dropping a bit of a stinker. I can't lie, but it was because new league, pace of the game, and I think the way he was playing, the pace wasn't. He wasn't like in sync. And then after about 20-25 minutes, I don't know. I think Bevel's got internet connections, but hopefully he can sort it out. After like 25 minutes, I feel like he just realised, right, I'm getting cooked. I'm losing the ball. Let me just speed everything up a little bit. And then bang, as soon as he did that, he was running the gaff. He was running the gaff, mate. Yeah, and obviously there might be a couple more games where, he needs to kick in. But as soon as he gets to that pace every game, he's going to be incredible, mate. Yeah, just everything about the guy, man. Bro, honestly, man, it's like such obvious banger. I remember watching him for AC Milan last year. I was like, this is the most pet player I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, on the ball, passing it, carries it. He can kick the ball from deep. He likes to get stuck in and that. He's just a baller, man. And Bevel's right. Yeah, we scammed then. We absolutely scammed him on the price, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We had a I forget what the guy's name was. We had a AC Milan fan that came on our show. And he said, because we were talking about, do we need a midfielder? Do we need a left back? Should we go get Teo Hernandez? And he was like, you can have him, but just don't take Reijnders, because he knew Reijnders was that dude. And so he was like, if you go get him, he is going to be.
They did a protest outside the stadium, Tariq. Did you see it?
He told us if you guys get Reijnders, because I was like, I don't really know much about him. He said, if you get him, he's going to become your favorite player.
They did a protest, bro. The AC Milan fans did a protest outside the stadium with a banner that said, like, I can't exactly remember what it said, but basically it said, like, don't fucking sell Reijnders, you stupid board. Like, basically that's something like that, yeah. And
if you try to take him away from us, we're going to be mad. And we've only had him for one game.
Yeah, this is so spot on as well. That finish was impeccable, man. Absolutely beautiful. He's just such a good football player, isn't he? Like, sometimes this is what I mean. Like, when I was glazing Bob last couple of weeks ago, and Jay was on the show saying, oh, how are you saying Bob's the best winger at the football club after 900 minutes? Why, I tell you why, because I don't need 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 minutes for me to tell you that I think that guy's a baller. I need 1, 2, 3 games max. And I'll tell you what my opinion is on a player, yeah? Now, obviously, you might get a bit unlucky, yeah? And, you get unlucky sometimes. Like Adam Wharton, every time I watched him, he was crap. And then, bang, he's obviously clearly a good player. But with Bob, yeah, with Reijnders and that, I watched these guys a couple of times and I'm like, yeah, I've seen enough. Yeah, Leroy Sané, I'd seen that guy one time, Leroy Sané in the academy for Schalke play against Manchester City's under 18s, under 20s, yeah, in the UEFA Champions League, Youth League. City played at Hyde, yeah. One game I saw and I went, he's fucking the best player I've seen on this pitch for a long time. And then look what he went and done. Joined City, went to Bayern Munich. You don't always need 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 games to watch a player. And with this guy, I knew straight away last year when I seen him in the AC Milan team, I was like, this guy's a baller, get him in the team. This guy's fucking mega. Yeah. And it's like, then you've got on top of that, Nico Gonzalez. Congratulations. The best performance in a City shirt. Yeah. Absolutely stunning. Yeah. Unbelievable performance from him as well. And then, like, you get everybody else coming back into the team. You get Rodri coming back from injury and that. And we could be cooking on gas, man. Nico Gonzalez today, for me, boys, was exceptional. And you know what? I think he should be up there with man of the match shouts. If it wasn't for the sort of goals and assists that Reijnders got, Danny, I think Nico Gonzalez would be up there, bro.
I think not only did he play well, but he was used very well by Pep. I was talking to Spartacus, who goes on Martin's channel, and who came into your phone show a couple of times, and he said to me, bro, did you see how Pep used Gonzalez? And I said, no, explain. And he said, so you know how Gonzalez is super slow on the turn? I said, yeah. He said, did you see how they put the fullbacks ahead of him? So he only receives the ball like coming into him and not like from the center backs with the back to the play. So he never had to turn. They went center back to fullback back into him. So he was always facing forward. He never had to turn. And that's just super smart. Because now that he doesn't have to turn, there's not really a downside to his play. And we know how good he is out of possession. But that was his main drawback in possession. And it just maximizes him perfectly. So not only is he a great player, but Pep has waited very patiently to use him. But now that he is using him, he used him perfectly. So
he looked a lot stronger as well, did you not think? Like a lot more physical. Like I feel like last year, I felt he was good last year, just FYI. But there was a couple of occasions where I felt like he got like bullied off the ball or whatever. Whereas today, I felt like I think the duels, he won 9 out of 10 duels or 8 out of 10 duels. I think chat, if anyone remembers from the player rating stream, we just swapped. Yeah, that's better.
I think it's 9.
Yeah, was it 9 out of 10 ground duels? Yeah, he looks a lot stronger. And I feel like I don't know about you guys, but I feel like with Nico Gonzalez today, you can clearly see that he has been coached by Pep Guardiola, because the improvement from today from last year, I think, was miles better. Oh, boys, I'm so fucking buzzing, man. I can't lie. I've not been this buzzing for ages, man. Yeah, but Nico Gonzalez.
We're winning the quad. We're winning the quad.
We've discussed 2 players, and there's still like another 5 or 6 we could go into.
Oh, Rico Lewis. What a performance.
Oh yeah, I've never wanted to sell him. I was frustrated a couple of times with him last season, but like we've always said, in a clicking team, he's pretty much invaluable. He
is definitely a luxury player, in it, Danny.
Yes, yeah. But today you saw it in a clicking team how good he is. He was great in the pockets. He defended very well, very passionately, and I like that. Again, if you want to talk from a financial perspective, he's an academy player who's not played very much, and he loves the club. You can't really put value on that. So I was just very impressed today. I don't know. I feel like if the team keeps playing this well, does he start over Nunes in our best 11? I would argue so. It's a debate, but
I guess like Oscar Bob was playing up in front of him, so Oscar Bob typically is hanging closer to the touch line, which allows Rico to come inside. If you had a player that's going to be cutting more inside, like say you had Foden out there who really wants to be in that inside channel, then you need Nunes to do that overlap. So I think it's a combination of who's playing in front. But then to be fair, we didn't put him in a position where we had to see him really defend like last man or anything like that. So I think we were able to maximize what he does well, which is get forward, get into those central places, be good on the ball, and create. And so I think so you talk about Pep. I think he did a great job about putting people in places where they could thrive, where they can maximize the things that they do well, and then we minimize their weaknesses. Now, again, it's one game; we got to do it all season. But for the first game, I'm buzzing.
Well, you look at where Rico was playing for that first goal, When Reijnders took the ball, Rico was in like a 10. He wasn't as a right back. He kind of inverted, but played more as like an attacking invert. So he kind of like picked up the ball in like the 10 role. So it's nice to see that he has that in his locker as well. Like if Forest do go in and get him, I genuinely believe he'll be quite a big loss to the team. I really do.
No,
Because-
I agree. I do think though, yeah, that it's the winger that dictates the fullback.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Like Tarek was saying, if you're playing a Foden or maybe a Churki as well, who want to drift inside, then that's going to leave a lot of space on the wing. So Rico Lewis is shit in that position. Yeah, you don't want him there. What you want is Nunes there. But if you're playing an Oscar Bob who wants to go outside, he wants to go inside, but he goes outside a lot, then you want someone to go in field. And in that situation, Nunes isn't bad at that, but Rico Lewis is a lot better. So for me, yeah, it probably depends. But obviously, it all depends on whether he's going to stay or not, because the bid came in for 30 million. I don't know what's going to go on there, because I thought he was gone. I was well shocked. I don't know about you, lads. I was well shocked to see him in the start 11 today. I thought he was gone.
Well, it's interesting what you say about the winger the winger dictates the fullback's play, and I think that's so true, because I think if you looked on the other side of the pitch, I don't think, and if there's one thing that I could take from the game that I'd probably say was a bit of a negative, I don't think Ait-Nouri and Doku work that well together. There was a lot of times where Ait-Nouri pushed forward and it looked a little bit exposed at the back. I don't think that those pairing work that well together. But on the opposite side, it was polar opposites.
The telepathic Bevel, some of the passing between Rico Lewis and Bob is insane, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm actually not even glazing. I'm actually being deadly serious. Like some of the passing, the back heels and shit, it's like they know where each other are all the time. It is telepathic the way them two play together.
Do you think part of it is the fact that they've come through the academy together and they know each other?
True, but they
that's what I was going to say.
They didn't really appear that many times together, funnily enough. But yeah, they do know each other, like before joining the first team. So I do think that does play into it.
I just think, Bevel, I don't think it's anything to do with the academy. I just think sometimes players on the pitch, Haaland and KDB.
Haaland and Reijnders today.
Bro, sometimes players just have these mad connections, and they're not born out of any like growth together. Sometimes it's just their brain is on the same brain as them. Haaland and KDB, brain. Silva, Aguero, them sort of brains. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just like that, and it's just mega. Do you know what I mean?
Today. We saw it today, that third goal, Reijnders playing that pass through to Haaland. Like, it's almost like Reijnders knew exactly where to play it at that time. It was almost like there was that connection there, that he kind of like, he knew where to play it at the right time, you know, with the right pace. So yeah, I do think there is a bit of that, and they must work on it in training.
Definitely. The problem that he's got, and I said this on my stream before, the problem that Rico Lewis has got is in this weird position, right, where he's probably not quite good enough to be starting every single game for Manchester City, week in, week out, the big Champions League finals, the FA Cup. He's probably not quite that good enough, but he's good enough to be starting a lot of games. Yeah. So does he want to be a sort of like squad rotation player at City and win stuff and play a lot of games, and he will play a lot of games, or would he rather go to like a Forest and start every game but then not really win anything? Because the thing is as well, he's got to also assess his England situation.
Yeah.
Would he be better off for the England situation? Would he be better off staying at City, playing 3,000, 2,500 minutes a season, but maybe missing out on some of the bigger games, or going to Forest, playing 3,500 minutes a season, but starting every game, but not really winning anything? And that's probably in his mindset.
Yeah. But I think with Rico, he's not good enough to be a starter in any of the positions that he can play in, but he's very, very, very good in all the positions that he can play in. So he's kind of like, you know, he's good enough for most teams, like to play as an 8 or a 10 or a right back, or I think he's got the capabilities to do that for pretty much most teams in the Prem. I just don't think that he's good enough yet, because of obviously age and size is an impact, but I don't think he's good enough to be in like a team that's fighting for literally every title every year, if that makes sense.
I'll be real with you. I don't want him to go, man.
No,
I want him
don't.
to stay. Like, and I get it if he wants to go and that, but I just feel to myself like, bro, come on, man. You know what I mean? You're a City fan, yeah. You're born in 10 miles away from the stadium. You've been in the academy for time, and you are going to play bare games, because in games where Pep wants an inverted right back, you are the guy. You are the guy, man.
And the question is, if he does go to Forest, what's his role there? I'm not sure if he starts.
That's what I was going to ask.
And so you'd think maybe he plays in the midfield, and I think he might complement their midfield. They got a lot of like gritty ball winners like Dominguez, Sangare, and them. They don't really have a techie guy in there. I think if he does go Forest, they might play him in midfield, but that changes his like England competition. In that sense, he's now fighting against Declan Rice and the other midfielders. If he stays here as a right back, do England really have oh yeah, they do. Well, you have Reece James, Trent Alexander-Arnold. So it depends.
Oh yeah, he's cut right back. Yeah,
kind of almost depends. If he's really like considering the England stuff, who would he rather compete against?
Well, look at his last England appearances. He played at left back.
He did play at left back, yeah.
So
he's a very
and then they just brought in
as well.
James McAtee too. So again, you talk about them needing more of a flair, creative kind of a midfielder. They just brought in James McAtee. If you bring in, I don't know if you're asking where McAtee's going to play or if you're asking where Rico's. I would question where Rico's going to play. Now, again, if you're going to be a rotational type player, you might as well stay where you are and stay with City, in my opinion.
Yeah, see what happens to him, man. But,
the left back thing's interesting because Forest already play with a right-footed left back, so that might be where they see it.
Interesting.
They have Nico Williams.
They might be buying him for what we do and just say, we're going to buy you and we'll play you everywhere. He's a good player. Listen, you need players like that in your squad. You need players that can do a job in multiple positions, because you can't have two players in every position. Yeah, not every club does that. So if you can get 2 or 3 players in your squad that can play in 2 or 3 positions, you can cut down the size of the squad, and that's what managers want these days. Now, I know we all want bigger squads than that, but we're not the managers. That's what the managers want. So if the Pep wants a 20-man squad, cool. That's fine with me. But you better make sure that 2, 3, or maybe even 4 of those players can cover 2, 3, or 4 positions. Because I'm telling you now, as soon as the injuries start, that's what you need. So let's see what happens with the Rico thing. I was quite surprised to see him start, but he did a great job. He's put an Instagram post up. He said, "Love City" or something like that. "Love this city" or something like that.
This is why I can't get behind shoving him out, quick selling him. Oh, just accept 30 minutes. No, I can't, mate. He loves the club so much. I can't get behind selling.
Yeah, but it's not City, is it? City not the one that wants to sell him. It'll be him that wants to go.
It's him that wants to go. But then again, it's mixed signals, isn't it? If he
Just
loves
because it's probably mixed signals, Danny, because he's probably in this sort of like, what do I do? Do I stay at City and play some games and that? But what I'd say is, right, in his first season, he played 1,400 minutes at 18 years old. At 19 years old, he played 1,600 minutes. And then last year, I think it was it 2,600 minutes, chat, before when I pulled it up on screen? So his minutes are going up. And again, no slander here. I'm just keeping it 100 and keeping it factual information here, yeah? It's not like he's got fucking Kyle Walker in his prime at right back. He's got Nunes. Nunes might not be good this year. Now, hopefully he is, because otherwise we could be cooked. But Nunes might start dropping bozo after bozo. In that case, Rico's game time's going to go through the roof. So, listen, like, obviously I'm biased. I don't want the guy to go. But if I'm him, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to stay and just see what happens. And then if my game time goes shit this year, then fair's go next year, innit? But obviously, it's the World Cup, innit? So I don't know what he's thinking. That's the problem. But I think he'll get a lot of game time. I think he should stay, but I'm probably slightly biased. Right, so.
I also do think as well, like, again, this might be me being biased, but I actually think he's the most versatile player that England have. Like, you name another player in the England squad that you can put in literally 4 different positions and he'll do a job. You can play him as a right back, a left back, you can even kind of play him as a 6 if it's a double pivot. You can play him as an 8 and you can play him as a 10. and you know you're going to get a semi-decent to good performance out of him. That's like 5 positions.
No, I agree. Listen, guys, smash these likes up if you've not done so already. Make sure you guys are subbed up to the channel as well if you need. Let me come to some of these chats, and I want to speak about James Trafford, man, because that's an interesting story as well. All right, big up to Russ says, what's the story, Ryan Ait-Nouri? On, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Russ, man. Big up to Ado says, I called weeks ago during the Club World Cup that Reijnders will win Premier League Player of the Year. He is mega. Remember during the summer when I said LB, he will be immense, says Ado, bro. Like I say, bro, it's the most obvious banger signing I think we've ever signed. Like, honestly. I don't remember signing a player where I'm like, that's so obviously going to bang. And like, the price is just ridiculous. Like, it's just mega. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Amar as well. Says, get a competent centre-back in with Stones and we are set, says Amar. We'll speak about centre-backs in a bit, bro. But I'm going to glaze Stones as well because he was fucking minute again. Yeah, best centre-back this club's ever had, by the way. Yeah, I'll stand on business on that one, by the way.
That's an interesting comment, though, because...
Don't fucking say that, mate.
Yeah, I mean, for that chat, it was really interesting because, again, that presumes that they don't consider... Gavardiol as a competent center back. I don't understand that.
Yeah, and that's another thing we need to get to. We did all this without Gavardiol, Foden, and Rodri. Yeah. That's our fucking spine right there. We did this without our spine. That's ridiculous. But we'll get
Don't forget, Mamouche was on the bench for most of the game.
Yeah,
I know. Well, let's come on to that, yeah, because I want to come on to this goalkeeping situation because for me, this is very, very I'm very curious to see what happens now, yeah, because obviously obviously Ederson was ill today, yeah. Like, let's just say we're not believing that, right? He's obviously going Galatasaray, Manchester City are getting Donnarumma. That's basically the situation. We're getting Donnarumma in. James Trafford today started the game. I was nervous for the kid, you know what I mean? Because he's only 23. You know what I mean? The last time he was in the Premier League, he wasn't very good. And I was like, you know, is he going to do some, like, nervous stuff? But, bro, like, I cannot lie, lads. He was a lot better than I thought he was going to be. Made some decent saves. He came and collected it. He didn't get bullied in the penalty area. I thought like that was one of the things for me. And I'm thinking to myself now, geez, like we get Donnarumma in. We're going to have Donnarumma and Trafford. This is going to be a tasty little like situation we got on here, boys. Like, talk to me, lads. What are you saying about the goalkeeping situation?
Thought he did well. I thought he did really well. I thought he made some exceptional saves. I felt like in the Palermo game for the first sort of 15, 20 minutes, he looked pretty nervous, but I thought he came out today. He looked really, really decent. He looked strong. That pass to Reijnders, he 100% meant that. I do think that I also think that Ortega does go. So I think let's not put too much pressure on him. Let's let him develop as a player, but from what we saw today, if there is any injuries to whether he is the number one in the future or not, like even if there's any injuries, we've got a very competent second choice goalkeeper that can come in and know that he can do the job.
I personally, and again, it's not my money, right? It's not my money.
Exactly.
But that's a lot of money to pay for a keeper in bringing in Donnarumma that I'm sure is probably better than Trafford, but I don't know by how much better he is. Trafford looked very composed, very confident today, played very well, controlled his box. It's hard to go off of one game because the next 4 matches are against top 6 teams. So at least I think it is. So
and Brighton as well. But yeah.
Brighton. So there's a chance that, okay, maybe he doesn't look as good in these next 4 matches as he did today, right? So I'll take that as a given. So I'm not opposed to bringing Donnarumma in, but I really don't know that based on what we saw today, it would be hard to see him as like a huge upgrade. I just think Trafford is ready. And again, if you don't go get him, then you look back at the end of the season. If you don't win it, you're like, oh, maybe we would have signed a goalkeeper. That would have been all we needed. And maybe I shouldn't think about where this kid is going to be next year or the year after, or is he going to want to hang around? But it does. I was glad to see him play well. And it does kind of like, dang, maybe we don't get to see him as much if we bring somebody else in, especially paying him as much as we're going to pay him.
Yeah, no, I get that. The problem that I've got is you look at Ortega's sort of time over the last few months. He didn't get taken to the Club World Cup, I don't believe. Didn't get taken to Palermo. I think the only reason Ortega was in the squad today was because we didn't have a second choice goalkeeper because Bettinelli's injured. I truly believe that Ortega's pretty much out the door as well. Now, whether we like it or not, if Ortega's out the door and Ederson's out the door, we're going to have to get another goalkeeper in anyway.
Right.
I just think that they've assessed the situation and gone, you know, we're going to bring in a goalkeeper, whether he's experienced or not. You know, you could go for someone like a Martinez or something like that for free. The problem with doing that is Martinez is going to want minutes. So you're going to have to pay money for a second choice goalkeeper anyway. I feel like we just probably fell very, very lucky with getting Ortega for free. Now they've probably assessed that and gone, we've paid 30 million for James Trafford. We sold him for 25, so technically we've only paid 5 million for James Trafford. He's 22 years old. We've got him for at least nearly, you know, if he wants to, we've got him for nearly 20 years. You know, he's 22 years old. Goalkeepers can play 38, 39, 40. So they're probably looking at that and going, for 5 million quid, we've basically brought in a goalkeeper that we can have for the next, 15, 20 years, 15 years comfortably.
Yeah.
Let's go and buy Donnarumma because we're going to need another goalkeeper anyway. But you're
That's
looking
only
at
because.
Donnarumma.
Wait a sec, just quickly, just to interrupt on that point because I think it's a really interesting point. We need another goalkeeper, but it doesn't have to be a first choice goalkeeper if they trust Trafford. You can buy another.
You're right.
And that's why you talked about Emi Martinez. That to me, that would have been I would get behind that. He's a backup. He comes in knowing he's the second choice keeper, but he's a competent second choice keeper.
And he is homegrown as well, Martinez. So
but at the same time, like he's gonna be in the same position as a lot of other players. Like this is probably going to be his last World Cup coming up. Is he going to really want to go and join a club and be second choice when, bearing in mind, he's won best goalkeeper of the year for the last 2 years running? Like, is he really going to want to come in and be second choice to a 22-year-old goalkeeper? Probably not. You know, he's probably got one more big contract in him, like 3-4 years. I don't see that as being an option. I think if we were to go and get a goalkeeper in, we'd have to go and get a goalkeeper in that wasn't as good as Trafford, but has like experience. So for me, I think they've just seen it as an opportunity where they've looked and gone, Donnarumma's leaving. We can probably get him for about 25 million quid. You know, for that age of a goalkeeper and that profile and how good he is and experienced he is, because bearing in mind he's 26 but he's been in the first team for the last 10 years. Like he started off in the first team at AC Milan when he was 16. Like there's not that many goalkeepers out there that's 26 years old with the amount of experience that he's got, and we can get him for 25 million quid. I just think that they're looking at that and going, there's no better. Like realistically, we wanted Trafford to be our number one choice, but I don't see a better option for the price that we're going to be paying than to bring in someone like a Donnarumma. I just think that that's the way that they've seen it.
See, I'm not as convinced, and a lot of it is one because before this Champions League run, he's not been the best. He's been a bit error prone. He's been a bit. The shot stopping's been fine. But he's made a couple errors relating to it. Another thing is we talk about how Trafford's very good at like controlling his box. Donnarumma's notoriously very shy at coming for crosses, and that could be an issue. The big thing though is the distribution. It's more a rhetorical question, but does that third goal happen today with Donnarumma in goal? I don't think so. I don't think he picks up that pass.
The other thing about it is, or just to add to that before you carry on, just like the thing for me is if he's not performing, then we've got a great second choice goalkeeper that can come in and take that position. Whereas if, say, for example, if Trafford wasn't performing, then, you know, who's our second choice that we're going to bring in? Like, are they going to be even worse?
That's a good point. It's also like, it's not just a stylistic thing. Oh, we're transitioning to more of a shot stopper than a distributor. It's also like a game state thing. If you're going to Anfield, there's this whole notion, oh, you bring Donnarumma to Anfield, he's going to save our ass, make 20 saves. If we go to Anfield, they're going to press the shit out of us. Donnarumma is going to panic, give the ball away a bunch of times, and maybe one of those saves doesn't happen. You lose 1-0. So I'm just concerned because if there are a lot of teams that do high press, both in the league, and a lot of people say, "Oh, get them in for Champions League." In the Champions League, it happens too. You had a very famous mistake against Real Madrid a few years ago. Distribution is still important. Like, it's not distribution or shot stopping. You can have like a 3-star distributor who's a 5-star shot stopper, and that's fine. I'm not asking for Ederson. I'm just asking for not problematic distribution, and that's just what worries me.
Did you get nervous when we were being pressed, to your point, and Trafford had the ball basically on the goal line, and he ended up playing it out, and we ended up getting out, but it was a little nerve-wracking for a moment for me. And I think I'm used to seeing Ederson make those plays where he's just super cool in the box. You know, it feels like it's like anybody else, and we're giving up a goal, and he just played through it. I saw Trafford do that today, and that I was like, okay, maybe I just need to give you the same latitude that I give Ederson because you were able to get out of there. But I was a little nervous.
Ederson's one of one. You're never going to have another.
Yeah, but I was a little nervous because it felt like he was about to be caught on the ball. And again, the ball is basically on the goal line. So if he gets caught, there's a very strong chance that's a goal.
You know what? The best sort of compliment I can give that Trafford guy. Yeah, before the game, I was nervous about him. Yeah, I can't lie. But during the game, I wasn't nervous about him at all. He did nothing for me that made me nervous, like, which is mad, really. Like, and before the game, I was nervous for him. Coming into the match, like when the game was starting, I was like, "Oh, I'd be bad nervous if I was him," and all that kind of crap. But he didn't do anything, yeah. And especially because he didn't, I think that first 20, 30 minutes was key. Yeah, because, like, if he would have done some, like, nervy shit in that first 20, 25 minutes, I'd have been like, fuck, yeah, I'm nervous now. But, like, he just kept it going. And like I said on the watch along, I said, if I was Pep Guardiola, yeah, before the game, I'd just be telling Trafford, yeah, every time you get that ball, just go along. Don't do nothing stupid. Just keep it calm, man. Don't be making no bozo error in your first debut. Just get out of there, with chilling. And that's kind of what he did, man. And obviously, he put that ball over the top, which ended up leading to the goal and that. And it's like, it's just interesting, man, because for me, I don't know. It depends how you look at football, yeah? Because Donnarumma right now, you have to consider him a better goalkeeper. Yeah, he can't win a treble and then you tell me he's not a better goalkeeper than Trafford, right? So do you just look at it and go, well, we need a goalkeeper and Trafford's and Donnarumma's a market opportunity, so we're buying a better goalkeeper. And what will be. If we have to sell Trafford next year, it is what it is, but we have to get the best goalkeeper. Or do you have to look a little bit more strategically and go, well, why are we buying Donnarumma if we think this Trafford guy is good enough? Is he good enough for now? No, maybe not. I don't know. But is he good enough for next year? So why are we buying Donnarumma? Are we buying Donnarumma to flip? But a lot of people are saying, oh, we'll sell Trafford next year. Are we buying Donnarumma for 20 million, playing for 1 year in the Premier League to sell him for 40 next year to then put Trafford in? How come that's not being potential like option?
A lot of people are saying, oh, it's a market opportunity. I don't want to be that club. I don't want to be buying players just so other clubs don't get them. Because that's just buying for the sake.
No. But are we buying him because other clubs are not getting him, or are we buying him because we need a goalkeeper and he's better than Trafford?
Yeah,
that's what I think. Yeah.
I suppose both of those.
It's sort of similar to the Rodrigo thing. Yeah, people are going, oh, we don't want Rodrigo, but is he better than Savinho? Yeah, does Savinho want to go? But we'll buy Rodrigo because he's better than Savinho.
Yeah.
My only thing is, it just feels slightly panicky since we brought in Trafford and the whole tacit implication was, oh, we're going to bet in Trafford to be our number one. I wonder if Trafford knew about this. I know everyone's had this debate this week. We're not going to go back into it, but if Trafford didn't know about this, then it's a bit weird from me. But I'm not gonna make this whole debate again because I've seen it so many times this week. It's just for me.
I don't know. For me, all I want to happen, yeah, and I say this about every single player at this football club, yeah. All I want to see is that the number one position, just like every other position, is based off of merit. So for me personally, yeah, I would, if we've got Donnarumma this week, I personally will put Donnarumma in the team. For the reason is he's just won a treble, yeah, and he's got well more experience than Trafford. But if he starts having a few shaky games, yeah, and Trafford's cooking in his training and that, we just seen him play where he went, well, I'm sorry, just because you're on 250k a week doesn't mean that you should start. Just like I've said it before, if Haaland starts dropping stinkers, I don't want him to play just because he's on 500 grand a week and a 10-year contract. Bench him.
How many times
team should be based off of merit?
I was just going to say, like, you bang on. Like, how many times last season did we turn around and say, oh, Ederson's injured. Oh shit, we've got to have Ortega in goal. Like, we're not going to have that problem moving forward. It's like, oh, Donnarumma's not playing well, or oh, Donnarumma's injured. That's all right. We've got 22-year-old James Trafford we can chuck in there that we can rely on. Like, we've not had that the last few years. Like in the treble season, Ortega, brilliant, couldn't fault him. But sort of since then, it's gone on for the last few years where people have said, "Oh, are we really playing Ortega this match? Oh, we're going to lose." Like we're not going to have those thoughts anymore because we've got a competent second choice goalkeeper who can come in and be just as good as the number one.
Mm.
My only issue is, like, will Trafford want to leave if he's not being a consistent starter?
But that's not a problem if Donnarumma's playing well. I don't care if Donnarumma's playing well.
Sure, but then, but the whole thing is we have two goalkeepers, and you're gonna have to replace Trafford with another very competent goalkeeper to keep.
No problem. Do that.
And Trafford is a homegrown goalkeeper, which is part of the
feel that simple
rationale for having him.
No, it's simple. If Donnarumma comes in this season, bro, and slams it, and Trafford goes, "I'm not getting in the team, I'm going to leave." No problem, leave. I don't got a problem with him leaving because Donnarumma's slamming it. My problem will be if Donnarumma comes in, doesn't play that well, and Trafford still doesn't get the number one shot and then decides to leave, and we're stuck with Donnarumma, who's not good. But if Donnarumma's cooking, why do we care what Trafford does? If he wants to go, let him go. Just make sure you replace him. Unlike when you sold Marmoush and decided not to replace him, you get Alvarez and not replace him. You see what I'm saying?
The other thing is as well is people are talking like Trafford's not going to get any minutes. Like Trafford is probably going to get the same amount of minutes as what he was at Burnley. You know, because you look at it, yeah, he's not going to be playing every Premier League game, but he'll be playing most of the FA Cup games, if not all of them, most of the Carabao Cup games, if not all of them, and he'll probably have some Champions League games as well. You look at when he was at Burnley, you know, Burnley had the league, but then, you know, they didn't really get that far in the FA Cup and didn't really get that far in the Carabao Cup. So realistically, when you tot up the amount of game time that he's going to be playing, he's probably going to be playing around the same kind of minutes. So we're talking
people calling me out for my take, by the way. So what you're telling me is, right, if Donnarumma comes into the team, slams it to the point where Trafford goes, "I've got no chance," why do you care if he leaves? So long as you replace him. What's the problem? How is that a shit take? Donnarumma comes in, slams it, so Trafford goes, "I can't get in the team, I'm going to leave." You let him go. You buy a second choice goalkeeper. Why are people fucking losing the shit about that? Saying that's a mad take. How is that a mad take?
That feels pretty straightforward. Now, whether we like it or not, bro. Yeah, it's just pretty obvious to me. My issue, though, not even an issue, I guess counterpoint would be if we're willing to give a goalkeeper 250, I don't really care who it is, but if we're willing to give a goalkeeper 250,000 a week, why not just get that to Ederson and keep him around? Maybe the situation is too far gone at this point, so I'll take that. But if we were willing to give 250, Ederson would have taken that and he would have been perfectly fine, and we would have never had to make this transition at all anyway.
Firstly, I don't think that those numbers are right. I don't think we would give him 250. It'd probably be more like 180 to 200. But then secondly,
real quick, Bevel, I've seen them saying he's on like 400 right now at PSG. So that's a big drop. Now, if he's willing to take that, cool. But that just feels like a lot of money that he's losing.
Yeah, no, I get it. But then the other thing is as well is we don't actually know how Ederson's been behind the scenes. You know, there was talk last year that there was a kickoff with the goalkeeping coach. You know, it might just be at the point now where he's becoming really disruptive around the dressing room, and maybe they're thinking, do you know what? You know, 12 months ago, we would have been prepared to give you that, but now we're not. So I don't. You just don't know, do you? There's a lot of things that people don't see. You know, as fans, we probably only get told maybe 10%, if that, of what's actually going on in the club. You know, so it's one of them. You don't know, do you? Really?
No, facts, absolute facts. Anything else on the goalkeepers before we glaze John Stones?
No, I haven't got anything. Let's talk about Stones.
Nah, big up Spartacus, by the way. Sorry, I didn't see this, bro. Is there one side who won with competing keepers? don't know.
The only one I can really think of is Barca 2015, but then again, it was pretty much set Bravo for the league, Ter Stegen for the cup, so it's not really competing.
Yeah.
So no, not really.
I don't really remember it. Johnny Stones, boys, back in, fit, yeah, best City centre back of all time. What are you telling me?
That's a mad take, lad.
It's not a mad take, bro. I'll be deadly
said,
serious, man.
I've argued that on this channel that at the end of the day, he is the most talented center back that we've had, and I think that if he was healthy, there would be no question. I think he's our best center back, and I'm a fan. Vincent Kompany is my favorite player of all time. So that's me saying, even with that, even knowing that John Stones on his day at his best is.
I think he's the best ball playing centre back the Premier League's ever seen. Like I'll comfortably say that.
But what you said about this season, anyway, boys? Yeah, because I know people don't like talking about that. But what you said about this?
Yeah. I mean, you use him until his legs fall off. Like he's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is our best right center back objectively. So I would play him. But then again, how long can you keep? Can you play him 3 times in 7 days? Probably not.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You have to spread them out. Which right now we're only 1 game a week, so it's fine. But maybe that's all he plays is just one a week.
As long as we manage his minutes and he doesn't get some he doesn't get injured during 5-10 minutes into a game. Like when we played Everton a few years ago, where he just come back from an injury, and it was 10 minutes into the game he went and made a tackle and ended up having to go off injured and was out again. I think a lot of that is just the fact that he's been really unlucky. But providing that doesn't happen and we can actually manage to keep him fit for the majority of a season, then he's definitely going to be a huge asset to our team. Definitely.
We got to play him now because he's going to go when England go on international break. He's going to go. He's going to get hurt, and then he's going to be ruined for the rest of the season.
Before he's injured.
Yeah, it's like you got to get all of them that you can, squeeze every little ounce out of it.
He's here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, but and that's unfortunate because again, we know he's playing for his England place, so he's got to go on the international break. He's got to go.
No, wait a sec. Sorry, I've got a problem with that though, Tarek. Yeah, why does he have to? I'm not being funny. Yeah, if he's fit. Yeah, he's playing for England in the World Cup.
Yeah.
But you think that
why should he? I think sometimes, in certain situations, you have to make exceptions to the rule, and very rarely you should do this. Yeah, but John Stones clearly is England's best centre back when he's fully fit, right? So why would you take him to some dead couple of friendly matches, risk his injury, which he will get fucking injured when he goes to England? Mark my words. Yeah, what's the point? Just say, you're not coming to England, stay at home, play for City all season, and then in the World Cup, we'll throw you in. Why does he have to go and play these dead friendly games? What's the point? To learn what? He's the best England centre-back we've got, so what's the point in playing him in these dead friendly games where he'll probably get injured? For what reason? Why does he have to play these games? I've got to call it out, man. Why does he have to call it? Sometimes, go back to Ledley King when he was at Spurs. Yeah, that guy never trained. He just turned up, played on Saturday and done it. Why? Because that's what they did. Yeah, and sometimes in life, you got to make some exceptions. I do not understand, why John Stones needs to go to this England friendly game. What's the point? I call it out, man. I think it's wrong. I don't think he should go. And I think he should say, I'm not going. Pep should say he's not going. And I don't think Tuchel should even play him.
And what he should do is, Pep should do it like what Arteta does. And Pep should say after the Brighton game, Stone's got a little knock. He's not going to the internationals. And he's matching.
No.
He's matching for United.
But don't lie about it. Just
I don't care.
Just tell everybody the truth. Just say, listen, John Stones is made out of glass. Yeah. And he gets injured all the time, and we are not going to risk him getting injured in a friendly. For what reason? So he's not going. Play somebody else.
We're not risking John Pebbles.
I just don't understand why he would need to be. I'd be pissed off a little bit actually if he goes to the England squad, mate. Yeah, I will because there's no need to
probably will too.
And isn't it like pointless World Cup qualifiers against fucking Farrell?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
There's no point in sending him. You can win without him.
It's It's World Cup qualifiers against Andorra and Serbia.
Yeah, there's no point. There's no point. Okay, maybe against Serbia you need him, but there's no point.
Do you need him against Serbia?
You know Mitrovic these days, mate. Absolute scored against us in 15-16. What a beast, man. But
that's what my point is. I personally, I'm looking at it's the groups of stuff. Yeah, I just personally feel, that he shouldn't go. I don't think there's any need for him to go. If he's fit for the World Cup, he'll play. Yeah, that's simple as. You don't need to play him. Yeah, Tuchel knows what he's about. Tuchel's been in the Prem. He's watched Stones bare times. So I'd be a little bit frustrated, man. But I'm telling you what, if we can keep this guy fit for a good chunk of the season, we are going to be so much better. I'm telling you now, he's our best centre-back, mate, at that football club. Yeah, he is. He's better than Diaz. He's better than Gavardio. He's better than them all, man. When he's fully fit and he's on it, like just the way he was carrying the ball out today, taking it past everybody. And the thing is as well, he's mega at actually defending. He's not just one of these ball-playing centre-backs, which is mint on the ball, but shit defend. He's actually a mega defender. I don't think he gets the credit he actually deserves. See that block he did today in that first half?
Yeah,
I was just going to say that.
Unreal block level. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. This is why I think he's an all-round player. But will he stay fit? Who knows? But yeah, we have to glaze John Stones. Defense, all right, before we finish off on the defense, Ait-Nouri. Any thoughts from you guys? Anything you want to speak about on Ait-Nouri?
I thought he was okay. I don't think the link up with Doku works, to be honest with you. I also don't think that it helped. He had Diaz next to him, so when he was flying forward, there was barely any cover. We did look a bit in that first half. We did look a little bit leaky down that left side. But I think that he had a couple of moments where he did look good, and I think partly it as well is, his first Premier League game for City, he's coming up against the club that he's just left. So maybe there was a bit of nerves there as well. But overall, I'd probably give him like 6.5, 7 out of 10, something like that.
Yeah. Just totally indifferent. He wasn't bad. He wasn't out of his skin good. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think it felt like he was nervous, to your point, playing in front of the crowd there at Molyneux. So that part, I was, okay, he's a little shaky, but he showed enough, both defensively, and I know what I've seen from him offensively, that I think he's going to be great for us over the course of the season, even if this game he was
Yeah.
I actually thought it was better defensively than it was going forward, which actually I think is a positive.
Yes.
I think today and I did the same. I think people are going, oh, it wasn't that great today. But if you flip it and go, well, everyone's been saying he's not been good defensively. He's not a good defender.
That's what I was going to say. He has more to prove defensively than he does going forward.
Yeah, and today he proved it defensively. He would look pretty good. I actually thought he was a better defensive than he was going forward. So I actually think if you flip it and just focus on his defensive work, I think you can go, you know what? He actually had a really good performance today. The thing is, the going forward thing with Ait-Nouri, I ain't worried one little bit about that because this guy's a techie baller, mate. That shit will come, yeah? I think Ait-Nouri, I said it today before, I think you just need to give him a bit of time. Once he settles in, Pep gets the system and he understands the system, he'll start cooking, mate, yeah? But the main thing is, in that transition time, for him not to be shit defensively and costing us goals. And today, especially that last 20 minutes, by the way, that last 20 minutes, he had a lot to do. A lot of slide tackles, clearances, headers and that. He really did well, man. So
he did,
yeah. I say give him a couple games. I think he'll be right. Let's move into midfield. We've glazed Reijnders a little bit. We've glazed Gonzalez. We've got Bernardo on there, captain the side. I actually thought he played quite well, boys. I'd be really
he did.
Like.
Played all right.
His usual tenacious self in there. He led by example.
I think the armband suits him well, and I think he did well. I think he's going to play like that all season, which is why I think he'll play quite a few games. It's just a matter of where he'll be positioned most weeks. So no, I think he did well.
No, he done well as well.
I think as well. The thing for me when it comes to a player like Bernardo in that midfield, if you don't notice him that much in a game, then that's when I think he's had a very good game. Because if he just goes about his business and just does the things that he needs to do, like that's when you see like the better performances from Bernardo. Like if you see him trying to sort of carry and make constant back passes and things like that, where you're noticing it and it's like, oh, he's passing back again. Like when you don't notice him, that's when you know he's had a good performance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you know what as well? Yeah, just to add on top of that, he needs a creator next to him. Because the problem with him last year, yeah, is that he was playing with Gundogan and Kovacic, right? Or like whoever it was in the midfield. And Gundogan can't create anymore because he can't get up the pitch quick enough because he's nearly 35 years old. And Kovacic isn't that guy. So then what people do, and it's not right really that we do this, but it's only natural, yeah? People go, well, go on, Bernardo. You're only 30. You do the creating. But it's not, he's never done that.
Yeah, it's never been.
And this is the argument, Bevel, I've been having with people, yeah, about Bernardo Silva for years. Bro, years I've been having this. I said, this is not his game, bro.
You always say he's never been a creator.
He's not, exactly. So last year, is it any surprise that he struggled most last year in a midfield where he was probably the one player that he was looking at to say, right, you need to do the creative work because Foden's not doing it, Kovacic ain't doing it, and Gundogan's not doing it. But he can't do it. But then everyone goes, well, what is he actually bringing to the team? And in that situation, last year, everything that he did last year, well, Kovacic was doing it and Gundogan. So that's why I think last year he had a bad year, and he did have a bad year. But at the same time, I feel like he was just doing probably what he's been doing for ages. But we needed him to do more, which he's not able to do. Today, you put Reijnders next to him. Reijnders is the one that's able to go forward. Reijnders is able to do the creativity work. And all of a sudden, everyone's going, oh, I want Bernardo good. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody looked at Bernardo Silva today and went, right, Bernardo, I need you to create me bare chances. Everyone's looking at Reijnders and saying, right, Reijnders, you're the guy that needs to do that. And guess what? Reijnders did it. So I've said it already. I'm hopeful for Bernardo. I think Bernardo might have a decent year this year. I really do. I think with Reijnders in there, and obviously Foden and Churki probably will get some game time in the middle as well. That should take the creative pressure off him, which was put on him last year due to injuries and form of other players that he couldn't deliver. And I think he could just get back to doing what he's best at. And I think hopefully, I'm promising, because I'm telling you what as well, yeah. And Bevel, you spoke about it at the start before, is if Bernardo can get his game back up, he's going to be one hell of a captain for this football club. Mm. He will be, because he speaks like the perfect captain. It's just it's no good speaking like a perfect captain if you dog shit on the pitch. So if he can get his performances up there, then he's going to be a fantastic captain for this football club. So hopefully, you know what I mean, he can get his performances even better today. But yeah, he was decent, man.
Absolutely, yeah.
Anything else on the midfield, boys?
Bernardo did have 4 chances created, by the way, according to
decent.
So.
Yeah. Just to add to sort of that, the thing which I've kind of noticed this season, which I didn't see last season, is there's just like everyone in the dressing room just seems happy. Like the whole team, you know, you've got Haaland posting pictures up with Núñez saying his teeth are offside. You know, you've got Reijnders coming out after the game saying, "Oh, I was going to pass it to Bob, but then I realised I've still got a left foot." Like everyone's just making jokes, and they just seem happy. And when it's like any business or anything. If you've got happy employees, you're gonna get the most out of them. You know, they're gonna want to work for you. They're gonna give you better output because they're actually happy to be there and happy to work for you. So I just feel like everyone is kind of like happy, ready to go, and ready to do bits for the team. Like that's just one thing that I've kind of noticed that I didn't see last year.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wouldn't be signing any contract with Bernardo until at least the end of the year. I think it's way too soon to sign a contract. If it was me, I'd just say to Bernardo, listen, you're going to have offers. Let's just get the season done. At the end of the season, we'll sit down. And if we want you to stay and you'll want to stay, we'll do the 1-year contract extension. But don't be signing a 1-year contract extension now, because he might be rubbish. You know what I mean? And then you've got him on another year, and then you're struggling to get rid of another player. So no, for me, I won't be signing no contract with him right now. Just leave it. Yeah. Get to the end of the season, assess the situation. If he's mint, give him a contract. If not, thank you very much.
The other thing with that is if a player that's coming towards the end of their career, and you have to look at Bernardo and say, he's getting towards the end of his career. Like, I feel like if you start offering a contract, there becomes like a comfortability thing. Because whereas like this season, as of the end of this season, he's going to be out of contract. He's kind of got a point to prove, and he's got something to play for. He wants to play at the highest possible level, and he's basically showcasing himself this season as like, look at me, clubs, look what I can do. Like, this is why you should sign me at the end of the season. Whereas like if you give him a contract extension now, is that going to go? Because it's like, oh well, I've secured another year or two at City, so I don't.
I think, I see Bailey posted it too, but I just think that he's already decided in his head, I'm going back to Benfica. So he's just playing it out. He's getting to wear the band this season, but we kind of all know how it's going to end when it's all said and done.
Yeah, facts. Smash these likes up, guys, if you've not done so already. The only negative for me, boys, today, and we need to speak about it because we've got to be balanced. It took us an hour. But for me, was Jamie Doku. I felt that on short-term form, he probably actually deserved to start over Marmoush if I'm talking Palmeiras on the Club World Cup. However, I thought first 15 minutes, I thought he was actually doing all right. I thought he was one of the better teams. And after that, I saw nothing from him. I actually thought he should have been subbed off a bit earlier than he was. Disappointing. I mean, he said it himself. This is his year. He's got to make it work this year. He said it in his YouTube video. This is my third season. I need to perform. He's not been great in his first year. He wasn't great in his second year. This is his third year now. Yeah, I'm not having it. For me personally, if he doesn't perform this year on a consistent basis, I think he needs to be sold. He said it himself. This is my third year. He knows it. Not great from him today, boys. But what do you think? Am I being too harsh? What are you guys saying about Jamie Doku?
No, you're right, and like we spoke earlier. It's all about the link up with the fullback. I said at the start of the show, you look at the opposite side, and it was the polar opposite. He had Rico and Bob playing on that right side, and they interlinked perfectly, and I don't think we had that on the left side. For me, he has got a lot to prove this year. I wouldn't say he was terrible today, but I don't think that he created or impacted the game enough to warrant solidifying that left-hand side spot.
Yeah, no, he wasn't great. And I'm with you. I was not surprised to see him start. Even I think personally, I probably wanted Marmoush to start, or I expected Marmoush to start, but seeing him start wasn't an issue for me. Again, I think that he has been playing decently well. And I think Pep kind of continues to reward people. If you're playing well, you're going to keep getting minutes. And maybe first, I felt like he could have come off at the end of at the halftime. You could have had a halftime sub for him, and it would not have been misplaced. Now, I know people don't like to do that because it feels kind of harsh, but if he would have got subbed off, it would have not been out of place. So I think that he's got to be better, especially if, there's the rumors of other players coming in. I don't know how he's going to play. So he's got to be better. Just bottom line.
Do you think as well, though, that could be
weighing
sort of in the back of his mind?
That's a good
maybe.
Yeah.
What's in the back of his mind? Sorry.
That it may be a Rodrigo coming in.
He could be sitting there now thinking, you've got Mamouche sort of sitting on the bench. You've also got Rodrigo potentially.
No. Sorry, Bevo, wait a second. Yeah, this is an elite level club. Yeah, what is it? There's no free. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, but there's no free rides at this club, man.
No. We agree with you. We're saying that's what he's thinking.
Has to be benched, mate, for the Champions League final. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
We all agree with you. We're just saying that may be weighing on him, and that may be why he didn't perform today. And if that's the case, he's got to be mentally stronger than that.
Like specifically Doku, because I know it's just a hypothetical situation. But if a player is at Manchester City, they're obviously a good player. Yeah. Even our like squad players are good players. So if they go to another mint team, they're going to have competition for places there as well. Unless they want to go to some dead team or mid-table team where they're clearly the better player and they'll just play every game and they're chilling. Yeah. Like, for example, Grealish has gone to Everton. He's obviously going to start every single game.
In which case, I would question your ambition if you do that.
Yeah, and in that case, you're not going to win anything anyway. So, like, whatever. But if you want to leave Manchester City and go to another top team where you're going to be competing for titles and Champions Leagues, you're not going to have a free ride there anyway. So, I don't think that is the reason.
No.
I know you're not saying. I'm just saying. I know you were saying it's a hypothetical, but I don't think that is the reason, man. I don't know, like what he's thinking, but. He knows it's delivery time. This is his 3rd year. We normally only give players 1 year to deliver, and then we're like, right, you're not delivering now. See you later. This is his 3rd year. So for me, again, I hope he cooks. I do, but
yeah, and it's only the first game, right? There's plenty of more matches. There's plenty more matches for him to perform. I just don't think that he performed very well or didn't show well for himself today. I think he's better than what we saw today. Even he didn't really he was taking players on to a certain extent, but I felt like Oscar Bob was much more effective at that than he was today. And this is coming from a player who by a long way had the most successful take-ons last season in the Premier League. So he just wasn't on it today. Just bottom line. He just wasn't on it today. He's got to be better.
Yeah, let's see what happens, man, with the with Doku. But this is a big year. This is a big year for me. Let me have a look at this poll. Big up Bryce, man. I did a poll earlier in the chat. Yeah. Nah, no way, man. I put a poll in the chat. Who do you want as #1 keeper? Trafford or Donnarumma? 50% split, even vote. Trafford.
Wow. Damn.
Bro, what the hell, man?
So what were you expecting, LB? What were you?
I was expecting 65% Donnarumma.
I was going to say I would have expected more people to say Donnarumma, but not by a lot because, again, Trafford is a academy player. He's got ties to City, and he played well today. So there's a certain amount of recency bias that happens there too. But I would have expected Donnarumma to be higher or to be decently outpacing him. So that's
to be fair, I was going to go the other way. I was going to say, for everything that I've seen on the timeline, everyone's kicking off a fuss. Like I was expecting 60% Trafford's way.
Really?
Well, if I didn't look at the chat or the timeline, just in my thoughts.
yeah, in your thoughts, yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Sweet. All right then. Big up Jay says, I think Doku is unhappy. If you look at the second goal, he looks disappointed. I didn't see it, bro. Then no one saw it. No.
I always kind of black out when the goals go in.
I don't think he's unhappy, bro. He's doing all these YouTube videos, man. He looks sound in that. You know, he's under a bit of pressure. Like, he knows this is a big year for him. If he doesn't cook, he'll probably get sold. But I don't think he looks unhappy. Like, I didn't see him thinking unhappy, man. Let's just see
YouTube's out here destroying careers. Like, look at Ruben Diaz, created a YouTube channel, went shit. Like,
YouTube, man, it's hard game, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? When Diaz signed for us,
should be a trainer.
When Diaz signed for us, he didn't have a Twitter, and when he got a Twitter in like January 2021, everyone was like, "Yes, my captain, my guy's got social media now." Now Doku's making one in big 2025, and everyone hates it. The fan base has switched up. I don't know what's happened.
Nah, big up Jay, man. Let's see what happens with Doku, man. Like I say, it's a big year for him. We'll just speak about Haaland as well, boys, because he's looking fresh, mate.
Yeah.
He's looking like he's had some real recovery, real rest, and he's looking ready to go. And, you know, he said it on that first Inside City video when they come back to training for the first time. He said, I'm feeling fresh, I'm feeling refreshed. And I tell you what, his performances as well for me are looking like little refreshed. That finish as well. Some nice finishing. The goal against Palmeiro, mega finish on his weak foot today. Couple good goals. Yeah, Haaland, man. Like, again, if we can get him up to the 50 goals a season mark, we're going to be in all the trophies, aren't we?
I was glad he got 2 today. Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Bevo.
I was just going to say, I feel like he's looking more rounded. Like, you know, notoriously, we know Haaland as being like just an out-and-out goal scorer. Today, I'm not gonna kind of compare the two, but there was times where I saw a lot more of like a Harry Kane style of player in him. You know, he was dropping deep, receiving the ball, making passes. You know, he just looked like a more rounded striker today than what we've seen over the years.
Yeah, I agree. We're seeing him being much more involved in the build-up, whether that's just because he's more comfortable or because Pep is asking him to drop deeper. I don't know, but definitely seeing his ability to come get the ball, to hold it up, to play others in, and then get back up top. So I do like that. I like him being involved because, again, he's still not going to have the most touches on the pitch. We know that our midfielders are, but we didn't hear today, oh, Haaland only had 5 touches today. Who cares? So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
By the way, I've just seen the chart. Like, I don't just mean like his passes. I mean, like, if you look at like the Reijnders goal, like he was almost like sort of in the 10 position. Like he wasn't as far forward as he normally would be.
He wasn't
like,
just sat on the back post like he usually is.
Yeah, it's almost like he's sort of dropping back into midfield a little bit to draw the defender on him, to create space behind for the likes of Reijnders to run onto, or it's more kind of intelligent play rather than kind of just sitting on the defensive line and waiting for the ball to be played through. He's dropping deeper, dragging a defender out with him, and then purposely creating the space in behind for people like Bob and Reijnders to run onto. I just it just seems more rounded.
Just more interested and more engaged. And I think that's what a break does for you. I mean, it's been a couple months since Club World Cup, couple months since Premier League season. I think you just needed that break.
He needed that break, and as well, last couple of years he's had a few injuries as well, hasn't he, Danny? Where he's kept him out for a couple of months, and he's had a little bit of a rest and that, and you can just see with his performance, man. He looks a lot more fresh and ready to go, man. And he didn't have Foden in the team, he didn't have Churki in the team, he didn't have Rodri in the team, and that's all going to help him. Do you know what I mean?
Whoever's saying that second goal was a tap-in needs educating on football, seriously.
Why you said that?
It's just in the chat saying, tap-in merchant, 2 tap-ins today. Like, that second goal.
That second goal wasn't a fucking tap. Who said that? Oh, George, man, get out of here. That's 2 tap-in. No, what you're tapping from the edge of the box. All right, then. Sound.
Lamptey, focus on beating Fulham, mate. Last minute.
Why? Who's he support?
He's called Lamptey. He had a game.
I was going to say, it sounds like he might be related to
Tarek
my namesake.
Yeah.
How do you say it was a tap-in, bro, from the edge of the box, man? Yeah, big up Ian, man. It was a sexual finish, mate. I can't lie. You know what I mean? Get out of here, George, man. You know what I mean? What are we doing here, bro? He's looking good as well. Quick one on some of the subs. If anyone wants to speak about the subs, Churki.
Bit of cheeky Churki.
I was kind of I was disappointed when the subs came in because I thought I wanted to see him centrally, and we were as the 10, he was kind of the false 9, dropping deep, having to drop deep to come get the ball. But when he's on the ball, dude is amazing. You just got to get him the ball, and you could just see he just wants the ball. Give me the ball. I'm gonna go create something. Then he took the goal very well. Churki is. We just got to make sure we give him time to get acclimated, but then turn him loose and let him do his thing. I want to see him get starts. Yeah.
The guy is a tacky baller. And LB, do I have the permission to do it? We are the Churki boys. We are the Churki boys.
See you later. You go in prison. You go in prison, and you're getting named and shamed.
Sorry, bro. Had to do it. Nah, he's fucking mega. He is. He's so good to watch, and he's so technically gifted, as you said. Techie, left foot, right foot, and it's a question for you, because we were speaking about this on the player ratings. Me and the chat was having a bit of a conversation about it, right? And how many goals you reckon this guy should be getting? Premier League, all comps, whatever.
All comps?
Goals.
Just goals, not assists. Okay.
What, just in the Prem or all competitions? All competitions, if he plays sufficient minutes, 30 goals a season. Easy.
Really?
30 goals, not 30 goals, and not 30 GA, but 30 G, 30 goals.
30 goals, mate, right? And I'll tell you why.
Haaland is, I mean, come on, that sounds a lot to me.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna say 15 to 20 is like
not
be
really.
amazing.
Oh, I was gonna say 10 to 12.
Yeah, 15 is about where I was gonna say.
Not really, because when you think about it, right, the goal that he scored today was top finish. That was on his weak foot.
Weak.
Like that was on his right foot. Like if
how many did
Foden
get 2 years ago?
19, I think.
Yeah.
19
that was just
goals.
in the Prem though, wasn't it?
That was in the league though, yeah.
He got 19 in the Prem.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
That's actually ridiculous, you know how mad that is. He got 19 goals in the Premier League, Foden.
Yeah.
That's fuck. That how mad that is for a midfielder.
Yeah. That's a goal. That's a goal every 2 games if you play every game.
Bro, I didn't even realize it was like that. Bro, that's actually insane. Yeah. But Gal wants to shot on Foden. Yeah. Every time, fuck you, innit? You know what I mean? Nah, I don't know, man. I think Bevel's.
My logic on it is if he plays most games, he can get 15 to 20 goals in the Prem because he's playing as a 10. Then
That's
if you're looking, if he could go and get 5 goals in an FA Cup game, well, you know, in the FA Cup, which is possible, you know, if we're playing like, I don't know, like Oxford United or something like that, he could quite easily get a few goals there. Then he's going to get minutes in the Champions League, Carabao Cup. I don't see personally why he couldn't go and get 30 goals a season.
To be fair, when you explain it like that, like, it's plausible.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oxford United. I remember when we got him in back. we got him in back-to-back years once. That was when Foden scored his first goal.
That was Foden's first goal for the club.
Yeah, I've got him, boys. All comps. Yeah, G&A 30 target.
I think it was also Cancelo's first goal. But yeah, no, 30 GA is reasonable.
Yeah.
Because I think he'll get quite a bit of assists. But man, 30 goals sounds a lot. But you know, hey, I hope that happens. I pray that happens.
He's such a good footballer, man.
I'm just basing it off his standard and how good he is of a footballer. Like, if he's playing like most games, like, you know, I think he's capable of hitting the very, very top. Like, I really do.
Yeah. Nah, it's the same with me when I had Mahrez, bro. I used to send Mahrez targets at 20-20. 20 goals, 20 assists, 40 G&A in one season. When you rate a baller like that, yeah, if you rate a baller that highly, like for me, yeah, it's mad that, Tricks, man. Tricks is calling you out here, Bevel, man. Send shots back. He says, Bevel has zero logic. He's so delusional, thinking that attacking midfielder in his debut season will bag 30 goals, pure delusion. Seek help. Hit him back, bro.
Well, at the end of the day, yeah, we're bringing through one of the brightest talents in world football. Like, no one's denying that. Like, he's in a team now that has a lot of techie ballers around him. Like, you've got Reijnders sat next to him. Like, you saw today, he was on the pitch 7 minutes and he scored a goal. Like, imagine what he could have done if he was on for 90. He could have potentially got a hat trick today. Right,
Bevel, let me say something to you, right? When you explained it before and you give the breakdown, yeah, I was like, you know what? Actually doesn't sound too stupid, right? Listen to this.
Go on.
In Churki's entire Lyon career, which was 185 matches, he only scored 29 goals. So basically,
what, in his entire career?
In his entire career, 185 games for Lyon, he scored less goals than you think he's going to get this season.
Well, I'm not saying I think he's going to get it. I think he's capable of getting it.
I agree. On talent, he can get it. And when you explained it before and said like 50, bro, that's okay. Let's get a different way, chat. Yes or no in the chat. Yeah, no paragraphs. Yes or no. Can Churki get 15 Premier League goals this season? Do you think that is unreasonable? Yes or no? Can he get 15 Premier League goals this season? He's only got one. There's 37 more games. Can he get 14 more goals?
He's on par to break Haaland's record. That's all.
I mean, he's averaging a goal every 17 minutes. So, I mean, hey, dude is going to get about 1,000 goals this year.
I think he could get 14 more goals in the next 37 games. What's surprising?
I absolutely expect him to be in that 10 to 15 range. I really do.
That's working out pretty much a goal every 2 to 3 games.
Yeah, I'll be real with you, bro. Yeah, like it sounds mad, and the stats don't prove that he's going to do it, but like he's got the ability to do it.
Of course he has, and look at the quality. I'm not trying to put any shade on Leon here, but like look at the quality of the players that he had around him. Like the guy was trying to assist Lacazette. Do you know what I mean? Like the quality of talent that Leon had around him, like, is way different to the quality that's around him at City. You've got Rodri sitting in just behind him. You've got Foden next to him, Reijnders next to him, potentially Bernardo Silva next to him, Mamouche, Rodrigo. You've got Haaland. Like, you're not talking about no Lacazettes here. You're talking about like potentially the best players in the world in their positions, like next to him. And Andy's playing, potentially going to be playing as a 10. Like, there's absolutely no reason why he can't go and play in the Carabao Cup. And because let's face it, he's probably going to get a lot of minutes in the Carabao Cup. Like, he could quite easily get 10 goals in that Carabao Cup. Like, why not? He could probably get 5 to 10 goals in the FA Cup. Like, so when you're working it out like that, on top of the 15 goals in the Premier League, you're pretty much at 30, and that's without Champions League.
All right. Okay. Well, let's see if he does get 30, then Bevel's going to.
I do have.
Well, what I will say. Oh, go ahead.
I do have a question, because I saw a couple of people on Twitter saying, okay, they put him on for Haaland, and like they are notoriously like our two weakest pressers. Is there anything to read into it? That I don't think so, but it is interesting how he took 1 week presser off.
Too early.
I think it's because the game was already won. He didn't want to risk an injury, but it is an interesting thing to look at. So.
Yeah, no. Listen, Haaland. You don't want Haaland getting injured. Churki gets some minutes. I think if you start seeing that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games in, and that's constantly happening, then yeah. But you can't. I don't think you can really be saying that straight away, because basically what you're saying, we're never going to see Churki and Haaland play together. Is that what?
You see, that's what I thought. I think that's a bit ridiculous.
See, and then that's BS. That's not going to happen, is it? So yeah, it's way too soon to start saying stuff like that. Final sort of like topic for me, and then obviously if there's anything else you guys want to speak about at the end, we can go through it. But a couple of the subs have raised some eyebrows in terms of like positives for a lot of people, in that Nico O'Reilly came on before Ilkay Gundogan, and Abdelkader Huzanov came on before Akanji. Are you guys reading into any of that? Pep Guardiola has since come out after the game and said we need to get rid of some more players. Having this squad size is unhealthy. So is he maybe trying to just let some players know that you are going to be down the pecking order? Do you look at that and think that's positive? What are you guys saying about that?
I actually put something on X before saying one of Pep's comments was something along the lines of, watching Tijani Reijnders reminds me a lot of Gundogan. Like, he's there in the box when you need him and stuff like that. And I just commented basically something along the lines of saying, well, that don't mean we need to play Gundogan then, does it? Like, if we've got a player like Reijnders in, that he sees what Gundogan used to be, then we don't need to play Gundogan, do we? So I'm grateful for everything that Gundogan's given to the club. I'm not saying that I'm not, but if we can get rid of a 34-year-old Kevin De Bruyne, who was still looked semi-decent when he was on the pitch, then I'm sorry, like, it's time to say goodbye to 35-year-old Gundogan.
It's not. Go on.
No, you got it.
It's not just the subs as well. The starting 11 as well, very youthful. There was all this like sort of doom posting in the YouTube chats and on Twitter. Oh, I'm so excited for the Prem this weekend, but I know he's going to play Gundogan and Akanji in the same starting 11. He's going to play all the old people again. And I said, no, let him cook. I don't think he will. And lo and behold, he chose a youthful starting 11 and he brought on young players off the bench. So I feel like something's changed in his head a bit.
I don't think anything's changed. I think that was always the plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was always the plan, but I think to Danny's point, it's changed from last season when we didn't see those players. But again, some of those players weren't available last season. They were, because again, there were times where we were seeing Kova or Gundo as opposed to seeing Nico G towards the end or whatever, right? So I think the thing that spoke the loudest to me was Nico O'Reilly coming in, not for Ait-Nouri out at left back, but coming into that midfield role,
big.
which we know is where he really wants to be playing, and that's his natural position in that center in center of the park in that midfield role. So to see him come in over Gundo, that to me was like, wow. Now again, I'm assuming that Gundo is healthy and all that kind of stuff, and so that says to me that Pep is trying to bring about a sea change, and that yes, I've told you before, people need to move, people need to go. And people have decided, hey, I want to hang around. So you might be limited to Carabao Cup matches. You might be limited to the throwaway matches that we're just trying to rotate the squad and we want to keep everybody healthy. It's already decided, whatever, right? Those are the matches you're going to get. And to see Nico O'Reilly come in a Premier League, and again, we have to, because again, we try to keep him around. So we got to give him the minutes to reward him for doing that. But that was the thing that spoke the loudest to me. Again, Kuzanov, he had some, you could have potentially started him, but okay, to bring him in again, speaking to Akanji, speaking to Ake, speaking to all the rest of those folks. Hey, this is where this is who I'm going to be playing. This is who I'm rocking with this season. And if you can't handle being a spot, substitution here, substitution there, if you can't handle that, you need to go. And again, I don't know how many times Pep has to keep saying that. Hopefully either people move or they're just going to be okay being in the stands, because that's where they're going to be.
No, I agree, because I think it's got to the point now where Pep's probably going to have to point it out to them by not playing them and by making obvious statements. I always say this about Pep, right? But Pep tells you stuff, yeah, but you got to work it out. And for me, bringing on Nico O'Reilly, who's played probably 3 games as a midfielder for this club ahead of Gundo, I think he's making a point there to Gundogan to say, you can stay, but this is the situation. This is the reality. Even when we're 3-4-0 up against Wolves, you're not getting on the pitch because I've got to be putting Nico O'Reilly on. And that is right. Pep's making the right decision there, because you can't be prioritising a 35-year-old over your future 20-year-old Nico O'Reilly. Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing? You might as well sell Nico O'Reilly. You know what I mean? And
even Nico O'Reilly's going to struggle when Rodri and Foden and Gvardiol is back. Right? Exactly. So even people who got minutes tonight or today may not get minutes consistently in the future. So the people who didn't, the writing is on the wall. If you don't listen, then that's on you.
Yeah, I think for me, in that next game, I think if we don't see Gundogan or Akanji again, or even Ake, I think they're probably the players, because
because it is a big 6 game, isn't it?
It's a big 6 game, and I'm like, if you still don't get on then, and then it's the last game. Is it Brighton after that? Is that before the window closes?
We got the break.
Right. So that Brighton game, is that before the window closes?
That's before the break. Yes.
Yeah. So I think Pep, it wouldn't surprise me now. And again, the problem is we don't fully know which players Pep wants to get rid of. I assume it's probably Gundogan and then maybe either Kovacic or Akanji or Ake. It's a couple of them in it. I feel like Pep's probably not going to play them in the next 2 games to try and make the statement and say, listen, this is the situation, because he's saying it himself, chat. He said it tonight in the interview. He said, having a squad this size is unhealthy. We need players to leave. So let's see what happens, man. But I thought that was quite interesting. But I've said it all summer. The problem with me is what caught me a bit off guard is because Pep said the Club World Cup they were treating as a pre-season tournament and not a post-season tournament. I went into that saying he's not going to play Gundogan. He's not going to play like the older guys. He'll play the youth because it's a pre-season. And then he didn't. He carried on playing the older guys. I was like, oh shit. But I kept on saying, as soon as the Prem starts, he's not going to do it. And a lot of people saying, LB's going to keep playing him. And then today he's proven it. I think really, but Pep said it was a pre-season tournament. I think I don't think he did. I think he treated it as a little bit like a post-season, maybe a little bit pre-season, but he didn't treat it fully as a pre-season tournament. And that's what caught me off guard in the Club World Cup. But we'll see what happens in it with thing. And obviously Pep's coming out speaking about Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, they're open longer. Turkey's open a little bit longer as well. So there will be opportunities for deals to be done after our window closes. We just can't buy anyone in. But we've got enough players anyway. Sweet. All right. Anything else from you boys? Anything you wanted to discuss?
Totally unrelated. I have a funny little question. So we've lost KDB, we've lost Ederson. Hypothetical penalty shootout. Who's your 5? It's totally unrelated, but it's just like a
that
question.
Ooh. So we're having Haaland, aren't we?
Because I have these times like 11 p.m. where I get these like random questions in my head. I'm like, what would I do?
Yeah, I'd go Haaland and Marmoush, even though I missed one. I'd take Marmoush. Rodrigo.
Yeah.
I'm
definitely giving one to Churki because I
haven't seen him take it, but I think Churki got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I need Churki to be number one
What is your
penalty
thoughts
taker
on
this
Foden?
season. I need those goals.
What do you think about Foden?
If Foden's in that mindset of I'm a fucking baller,
yeah. That's the thing. Because he did score one against Madrid, but he also missed one against West Ham in 21-22.
If he's in the mindset of I'm fucking Phil Foden, then put him on the fucking. If he's in the mindset of I don't want to do anything wrong, then no. Depends what mindset he's in.
I'm definitely giving one Reijnders as well.
Reijnders probably,
Yeah.
I
would trust him.
Anyone that can kick a ball like properly, you know.
I wouldn't put Rodri on it because Rodri's a bit spotty. He's missed a couple for Spain. Remember the one he scored. Remember the one he scored against Spurs in lockdown, where he just randomly took a pen against Spurs and he just crept under Lloris. Yeah, I wouldn't put Rodri on.
You reckon Ait-Nouri could take a nice pen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon he could kick a ball.
I don't know if I'd have him in my top 5, but yeah, he probably could be all right.
Yeah, we should have some good. Nunes is pretty decent.
Yeah, I was going to say I think Nunes is in my 5.
Just at the target, man.
This season's just vibes, isn't it? It's tacky baller FC. You know, you saw Churki come on the pitch before, and he was just doing back heels, and
I know,
just like it's just nice to watch, regardless of whether we win anything or not. Like it's just nice to watch.
Big up Dylan, tag a bit. Rodrigo has posted this on his social media.
He's training for that medical.
I know he's posted it after the City game. Apparently, he's liking all the City players on posts on Instagram we'll see what happens on that one, man. 2 weeks left of the window, boys. What's going to happen? Are we going to get Rodrigo? Who knows? But yeah, man. Sweet.
I feel like we're more likely to get Rodrigo than we are Donnarumma, and I think Donnarumma's pretty much a done deal.
See, I think
I think we're getting both.
I do think we get both, but if out of the two, like you look at Savio's agent's flown all the way over from Brazil this week to get the deal done. So
the only thing is, I don't know if you guys heard this. I don't know if you've watched on before, but I felt like Pep in that press conference yesterday tried to sort of like, and I don't know if the players listen to these press conferences, but he glazed Savio loads. He said, he said Savio's min. He said Savio's going to be class in a couple of years. He said I played him 3,000 minutes last year. He said he's going to get minutes this year. He said he's min and he's going to be a class player. And I felt like Pep was basically, in my opinion, I felt like Pep was trying to do the last attempt to try and like glaze Savio to convince him to stay. So what I'm saying, I reckon, unless he's literally just working on the prize photo, or I reckon if you don't hear anything in the next 2 days on Savinho, go. Because that was the last attempt for Pep to convince him to stay.
I don't know what the question was, but I was sent a quote from his post-match. He said, in the next 2 weeks, we will talk like adults with the players and the agents to find a solution. So I feel like things are moving.
I also have absolutely no idea what Pep is telling the truth and what he isn't anymore.
Yeah,
like
Ederson,
as of yesterday press conference, he was travelling down with the team, and then today he's got a dicky tummy. Savio's out with an injury from Palermo, so you just don't know, do you?
Savio's out with an injury, but then he's on that lat pull down machine.
Doing 500 reps a minute. Like.
Yeah, you need to relax, bro. You need to, to take it. If you're injured, relax. Yeah. It's kind of mad how they just can't tell us what's actually going on. But
it was the face though, like when they said, "Oh, what about Savio?" and he was like,
he's injured. Why can't he just come out like Eddie Howe and be like, "Look, dude is trying to go. We not playing him. His head's not here. We'll figure it out as we go." But
what about Ederson? Apparently.
Yeah. Pop Mop says that Ederson is sick and that Savinho has a knock.
Was it Joe? Was it Joe who tweeted he's got Galatasaraitis?
Yeah, somebody said, I saw that.
I think
What's
part of it, I was just going to say, I think part of it might be to do with the fact that, like, for example, with Ederson, like if you come out publicly and say, "Oh yeah, Ederson to Galatasaray is basically done," then PSG are going to hike up the price on Donnarumma because they know that we need Donnarumma, and I think that might be the same with like Real Madrid.
But don't you think, like, we all have seen enough to know the dominoes that are going to fall one after each other or whatever? You don't think that they know that too? I mean,
yeah, probably, but I don't know. I just like to
Yeah,
think
but-
like
and
that.
they want to get rid of Donnarumma anyway. So,
But wait a sec, because Ederson said he don't mind staying, right? So you could say to Ederson, we're only going to let you go. We know you want to go. We know that you're driving this, but we're only going to let you go if we can get another goalkeeper in that we're happy with at a good price. So then you go to PSG and you get to say at PSG, you've kicked this guy out your squad. You're in no negotiating power here. And then they go, well, you're getting rid of Ederson. But then you go, nah, we're not getting rid of Ederson unless you give us a good price. So for me, I reckon you can get Donnarumma for 20 million. Yeah, I'd be surprised if we pay much more than 20 million for Donnarumma because they are in no negotiating position here. Yeah, and I think Ederson's probably chill with that. Ederson come out in an interview and said, I'm happy to stay. I'm happy here. Yeah, I'm all chill. And then what? 3 weeks later, he's all of a sudden completely changed his mind. Nah, I don't believe it, man. So I think it's all like connected. I think if City can get a good deal on the Donnarumma deal, they'll sanction the sale of Ederson and we'll get Donnarumma. If they can't get Donnarumma at a good price, they won't sanction the Ederson deal. Ederson will stay. Ederson will be the number one. And then Trafford will be the new number one next year. That's what I'm saying. But
I think the same with Savio as well. Like, I don't think we're going to turn around and say, "Oh yeah, Savio's on his way out." Because then Real Madrid will go, "Well, you've now lost a winger. You're now going to have to buy one from us. It was originally 100 million. Now it's 120 million." Like,
is there any? Oh, sorry.
No. You go on, carry on.
Well, I was like, is there any chance of, because I've seen some of the Arsenal supporters, because they thought they were going to get Eze. Now it looks like Eze may end up going to Crystal Palace. Is there any chance that Arsenal comes in for Rodrigo? Because they were mentioned with him earlier in the window. Is there any chance that they come in and try to get
that's what I think's happening. Sorry,
or even try to bump the price up for us?
I think that's what's happening. I think Rodrigo's gone. Yeah, I think what's happening here is Arsenal are there at the table, but I think I don't know if the Arsenal fans are in the chat. I think Rodrigo wants City, so I think Rodrigo's waiting for City. But how long is he going to wait before he says to City, "I can't wait no more. I've got to just sign for Arsenal because I can't risk this deal going"? Because what about if Arsenal give him a deadline? So this is why for me it's like, how much is City going to push this negotiation of Savio? Because it sounds like City want a high price. I think City are asking a little bit too much, in my personal opinion, but it's Viana, or whatever. You might get it. But if that drags it out by another couple of days or a week, is Rodrigo then going to be like, you need to hurry up, man? Because I think he's done at Real Madrid. He's done. So I don't know. I mean, apparently, like one of you guys said, Savio's agents are now in London. They're trying to push the deal through. They're trying to get it done. Apparently, Spurs are going to come back with another offer. And, Spurs look actually like they might be making some moves in this window. They're signing Eze. They've got a couple of other players. And if they can get Savio, they can have a decent season, a decent squad. So
3 on whoever they played this morning. So,
Did you see the clip of Kyle Walker taking the long shot?
Smashing it into Rose head. Yeah. You got to respect Viana, though. Like, since he's come in, he's bought in players for pence in comparison to what they're actually worth. The Churki and Reijnders together was like, what, less than 75 million quid? Combined in this window, like, that is ridiculous. Like, when you think that we're going to be paying about, what, 75, 80 million for Rodrigo alone. Like, and then, he's selling off players. Like, he's getting like 30 million plus a buyback and a sell-on for McAtee. If we've got to trust him, because if he's saying, now we can get more for Savio, like, he's probably going to get it. Like, let's be real.
They probably will.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
I got to definitely give him credit because when in the January window when he had first come in, we bought a lot of young players, and I said, you know, pulling receipts on myself, I said that, hey, I need him to remember that he's at Man City, not at Porto, because again, what the type of player that we can get here is different than there. The young players is great, but we need to remember that we're City. We can go into the market and throw our weight around a little bit. And he's doing that now. When you think about who we brought in the summer, and then also going to get Donnarumma potentially, also going to get Rodrigo. These are top tier players. Whether I think we need them or not, these are players that are top tier. And so, you know, give him credit where credit is due. He's able to do both. We can go get young players and build up for the future, but he can also go get the best, you know, world-class players today, and put us back on, you know, in that top bracket for leagues, for UCLs, for all that. So
I think he's elevated us, to be honest with you, because like if you look under Cheeky,
I don't know that he does these deals.
Would we have done that? Would we have gone in for a
that he does.
Donnarumma and a Rodrigo? Probably not. We'd have probably got Danny Olmo and Morgan Gibbs-White.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not Donnarumma, no way. He goes and gets Costa from Porto, 100%.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's just so obvious. Yeah. All right, let me do these chats and then we'll wrap it up tonight, boys. Big up to Asgar. Says, if Churki does a madness this season, Bebo going to look like a tier 1 pundit. Says Asgar. Big up for the 12 months as well, man. Okay. Subscribe to his channel, Asgar. Yeah. I'll put the link in the description. Shout out Dylan. Says, deep the clip I tagged you in, Brett. Not yeah, the Rodrigo one. Yeah, man. Big up, man. Let's see if it happens. Big up to you. Shout Al. Says, Trafford. You're going to be crying when he gets benched for Donnarumma.
I was going to say, he was upset, like really upset the other night when the rumors about Donnarumma coming in.
I know. Alan's going to be crying in front of his screen on Mancunian way when Donnarumma comes in and benches Trafford, bro.
You remember Monday? You remember Monday when he sent in a super chat? It's like, Jacob doesn't trust Pep. And then 2 days later, he's on Mancunian way going, Pep's a cunt. Pep's a cunt.
Is that what he was doing?
Yeah, he was heated.
He was fuming. Yeah, no way. A bit of Sankel says, guys, if not Rodrigo, who to replace Savio? Options. Well, the number one choice for me would be Elise, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to get him out of Bayern now. It's not happening this summer. Probably
the only one I can think of is Akliush, but he's very one-footed. He's a good, very, very good player, but very one-footed.
So they've been talking about him in being connected to us. Is he? Tell me about him because I don't really know too much about him.
He's a winger, but he's like a playmaker winger. He comes centrally. He's a pretty good dribbler, good ball carrier. Again, doesn't really have much of a right foot, but I watched him a lot for Monaco last season. He was pretty good.
You know what?
He's young though, right?
I think
he's like 23. Not super young, but like pretty young.
You know what I'd do? Yeah, I'd sack it off. Yeah, hold out for a year, full send Bob, Churki, and Foden on the right, and go and get Elise for buying next year on a release clause. That's what I'd do. I don't want to buy no mid-player, man. Yeah, I'd rather just wait out, full send Bob, Foden, and Churki on the right, and go and get Elise next year. Don't be buying me a mid-player that's not good enough. And then we're sat here in 2 years' time having the same conversation. Nah, if you can't get me top tier, yeah, wait, do it next year and go and get Elise.
I personally don't think Viana does mid-players. Like, you look at who he's brought in, not one of them have underperformed so far.
Yeah, no.
He's got a good record. Lucas, he's got a release clause, bro. He's got a release clause. Why does he put a release clause in the contract?
And it sounds like Bayern is kind of hard pressed for, I don't want to say money, but maybe they're changing up their approach. Is Elise, I don't remember, is he left or right?
He's right. He's left-footed, but plays on the right.
But he plays on the right. So we don't need another right winger. We need somebody, if we're going to replace Savio. Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Witherspoon did it. I don't think anyone bid for him in the Premier League, no? Do you guys remember anyone bidding for Elise in the Prem?
No.
I thought
I don't remember. I think it was pretty much wrapped up pretty quick.
Yeah, I thought Bayern had a free ride at him.
I thought Chelsea looked interested at one point.
I think everyone and their goldfish were linked, but I think it was. I don't know. I think he just went straight to Bayern.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're Crystal Palace, you're trying to get him outside of the Premier League, but
Sure.
Mm.
Not that you're really going to contend for anything, but
yeah, I mean,
Fuck
I
off,
just
we
don't
get
want to
us in
see
the
this
final.
kid keep coming back in and smacking me up, which is what he's going to do.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, Bears.
Which is why I don't think we should sell Savio to Tottenham until after we play them.
I don't think we sell Savio to Tottenham unless the deal for Rodrigo is done.
Yeah, at least very advanced. I agree.
Yeah, or at least got a deal in place where we can say, right, we can now let Savio go, and we've had a deal agreed for.
The question is, Bevo, yeah, if you sold Savio, do you have enough? If you can't get somebody in, so you'd have Doku, Marmoush on the left. You'd have sort of like Foden, Churki, and Bob who can play on the right. And then sort of Foden, Churki in a 10. But he might not play that. He might play that midfield again.
And you gotta put Bernardo in there too if you're talking 10 and right.
I think we've got options in each position. I think that's fine.
I think we've got enough on. We've got more than enough on the right wing. I don't think we have enough depth, enough talented depth on the left wing, because I don't think Doku's it. And you know, if say for example now, right, just hypothetically speaking, if Haaland picks up an injury and he's out for 6 months, we're going to need Mamouche to play that 9. That literally leaves us with Doku for the left wing, and that is it.
You definitely have to keep that Berry, in my opinion.
Or
you'd have to keep that.
You put Ait-Nouri on that left wing, and then put whoever at the left back position. Because I think he could play that. Not that would be what I would want to do on a regular basis. But I mean, I think you could manage for a little bit of time.
I agree.
Echeverry's not going to be here. He's going to be gone, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, big up. Let's see what happens anyway. Big up to everybody in the building, man. Make sure you guys smash up the likes. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel as well if you're new. A couple of the other lads couldn't make it tonight. I'll see if I can catch up with them tomorrow or Monday or something. But yeah, I've got to watch it on tomorrow on the second channel, more LB, Arsenal v United, so come check that one out as well. Shout out Danny, shout out Bevel and Tarek. Them guys' links are in the description. Streams loads of times as well, man, so make sure you get on them. Make sure you're following up. Just hit the description and both of the channels are there. And big up to you boys, obviously, for jumping on, especially Bevel. It's fucking late, 12:25, man. I appreciate it every time, man.
All good.
But yeah, shout out, lads. Shout out to chat. Is anyone live? Anyone live? Or let's have a look if anybody is live. Redirect. We'll go sarcasm. Why sarcasm the only one that's live all the time at like 1 o'clock in the morning? We'll redirect there. Shout out to everybody in the building. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you want to watch player ratings, by the way, player ratings is on the second channel, more LB. Si's normally on it, but it was his mum's birthday, so I did it solo today. Links in the description if you want to go check that out. Peace out. Catch you in the next one. See you later.
Peace.